Hi, I'm Patrick Fulop. This is Effective Martial Arts. In this lesson, the back control position, the rear naked choke, and how to escape. Alright, so back control is a very dominant position to be in because it allows you to really limit your opponent's offensive options and at the same time gives you a unique opportunity to execute one of the most powerful submissions there is, which is the rear naked choke. Now the rear naked choke is great because it allows you to temporarily incapacitate your opponent without inflicting any permanent damage. So this is ideal for a one-on-one self-defense or law enforcement situation. Because if you do it correctly, your opponent will simply pass out and wake up a few moments later with no harm done. Also, as a martial artist, knowing how to escape the submission and this position is an essential part of your training. So there are 4 parts to this lesson. First off, how to correctly establish the back control position. Next, 3 ways to finish the choke. Then how to defend against the choke, meaning how to get out of it and how to prevent it. And lastly, how to escape the back control position. Later on, we're going to show you how to achieve the back control position and how to prevent from having someone take your back. But that will be for a future lesson, so if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel to stay tuned. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so first things first, let's look at the actual back control position, how to hold it. As with any other ground techniques, you always want to think about your position before your attacks, whether these be strikes or submissions. So here's how to correctly establish the back control position. To say that you have someone's back, you need to have your chest flat against the middle of their back with your shoulders lined up with theirs. Next, you also need to get your hooks in, meaning your feet on the inside of their thighs so the hips can't get away. And you need to control the upper body with what we call the seatbelt lock, like so, with one hand coming underneath the shoulder in an underhook position, the other hand coming over the opposite shoulder in an overhook position, and the bottom arm's hand coming over the top arm. Next, you need to have your head down as well and squeeze for a nice tight hold. The reason is you want to protect that top arm mostly because that's the arm you're going to use to choke with. Now, before we get into the actual choke itself, let's look at a couple critical mistakes that you can do in this position that can cost you the position and sometimes even the fight. First mistake that can happen is having your head up too high in the back. If you do so, the person can simply punch back and get you right in the face. So you want to tuck your head in, exposing your forehead mostly, so if they punch, they'll get your forehead, which isn't that bad. Second critical mistake that can happen is to cross your feet in the front. If you do so, the person can step over with their leg, cross it, and submit you in a straight foot lock. Very painful. So keep your feet uncrossed. And last critical mistake would be to go for 2 underhooks and forget to get your overhook. In this case, there's nothing preventing me from getting up on top. I can simply push back, slide out, and get to side control position. Alright, so now that we have the position, let's look at how to finish the choke. Now the principle behind the rear naked choke is that you're going to reduce blood flow to the brain by constricting the carotid arteries on both sides of the neck. Thereby, the person will pass out if you do it correctly. So 3 ways to finish. The first, the best, and the most effective way to do it is the fully locked, 2-armed rear naked choke. Here's how to do it. With the overhook arm, you're going to slide that arm all the way across the opponent's neck, making sure to go underneath the chin until the elbow is pointing in the same direction as the face. Then you're going to take the underhook arm out and grab your own biceps with that arm, make a fist and fold it all the way behind the person's neck. Then lock it in with your head on top to prevent the arm from getting out. From there, it's just a slow flex, squeeze, pushing the chest forward and the shoulders back to get the tap, or the person will take a nap. Next way to do it, not quite as solid, but can still work, is instead of locking the arms completely, simply going for the gable grip. So the arm on top, same position, then the other arm, simply grabbing the palms together, clasping the fingers with no thumbs. The other arm here is pressing against the shoulder with the forearm, and then same thing, slow squeeze, chest out, pulling back to get the tap. And last way to finish, if you only have one arm available, this won't necessarily work on a bigger and stronger opponent, but I want to give you guys all the options, especially so you know how to defend, is to do the single-armed rear naked choke. Starts off the same way with the overhook across the neck, but since you only have one arm, let's say because the other one is locked in the underhook position, you're going to just grab the back of your opponent's shoulder with your fingers, and then from there, same thing, squeeze and pull that shoulder back to get the tap. Like so. Alright, now quick recap. I'll do it alone so you can see better. 3 ways to finish the choke. First, best, most effective way, double-handed, reach across the neck, underneath the chin, wrap your hand around your opposite biceps, fold the arm behind the person's neck, make a fist, lock it in with your head, then flex and squeeze, chest out, shoulders back. Second way, a little bit less solid, but can also work with, instead of grabbing your biceps, grabbing gable grip, so palm to palm, close the fingers together, and then same thing, flex, squeeze, chest out, shoulders back. And third way, if you only have one arm to do it, single-handed rear naked choke, all the way across the neck with one hand, grab the back of the opponent's shoulder, flex and squeeze. 3 ways to finish the choke. All right, so now that you know what's coming at you, here's what you do from the inside of back control to defend against the choke. Now, this is a good time to remind you of principle number 1 of ground fighting, which is to relax and breathe. So don't panic. Remember to breathe and just systematically apply the techniques I'm going to show you to work towards your escape. Now, let's start with the very worst case scenario, which is the fully locked, 2-armed rear naked choke. Now, in the spirit of full disclosure, if the person knows what they're doing and they have this choke locked in, your chances of escape are not that good. But still, you gotta try something. So here's what you do. First off, when the person's squeezing a little bit, you're gonna try to get your arms in here and to create a little bit of space to get your chin inside the arms. This allows for a little bit more blood flow to the brain. If you can't do that, or right after you have, you're gonna go straight for that top arm with your 2 hands. So you're gonna reach to the side over here to grab the fingers or the hand, and on top over here to grab the wrist, and then you're gonna do everything you can to pull it away and get it free like so. From there you maintain control and you have an escape opportunity from here, or you can go and lock it in the underhook position, and then you'll have only one arm to worry about over here. You're doing the single arm rear naked choke. From here you might be tempted to try to pull on the arm, but it'll be much more effective to go and reach all the way for the fingers over here, and you're gonna pry the thumb open to get it free. The only other situation that we didn't address is the gable grip option. In this case, one arm to defend, loosen the grip, and then again, straight for the fingers, the thumb, pry it open. Now, general rule, it's always better to prevent than to react. So here's what you do before they get the choke in. General principle, always keep your shoulders up and your chin down when the person has your back. This limits the surface area on your neck, making it harder for her to get the choke in. Also, you want to have both arms on the overhook arm to control that arm, because that's the arm that's going to be choking you, and you want to pin the other arm with your arm over here to keep it locked in. So here you're relatively safe, at least temporarily. If the seatbelt is not locked already, you want to have still chin down, shoulders up, and hands on both sides of the neck, because you know she's going to be coming in on either side to get the choke, so you can intercept the arms and get them free. Now, knowing these defensive strategies, here's what you do to get the choke in anyways. 3 techniques. So first off is the finger slide technique. So even when the shoulders are up and the chin is down, you can always get a finger in. And the finger slides all the way and becomes the arm, and eventually you can get the whole choke in. The other option as well is to go with the thumb inside in front of the chin and pry it open like that until you get the arm in. The other option, a little bit nasty, will be to pull the head back to get the choke. So with pressure either right underneath the nose, in the eyes, or anywhere in the face really, you're gonna pull the head back and get the other arm in to get the choke. Very hard to resist with the neck muscles. Last option, which is surprisingly effective, is to rely on the other person's laziness to get your choke in. We call this the wait and choke. So you're fighting for the choke, person's defending, you're in a scramble, all of a sudden kind of stop what you're doing and relax. Oftentimes what's gonna happen is the person's gonna let their shoulders drop, chin go up, and that's when you go in for the choke. Boom, like that. All right, so now that you're temporarily safe from the choke, it's time to think about how to escape the position. So keep in mind, at any time while you're trying to escape the position, the person could get the choke back in. So at that point, you want to stop thinking about your position and get back to defending the choke, because that's the immediate threat. Also, we're going to show you 2 techniques to escape, which are the arm switch and the slide out escape. These techniques can be combined if you have the opportunity to do so. And finally, keep in mind that at any point while you're trying to escape the position or defend against the choke, the person might make the mistake of crossing their feet. And at that point, you have to have the reflex of immediately getting the foot lock. All right, so the first and easiest escape from back control is we call the arm switch escape. This happens when the person's grip is broken. Either you break the seatbelt or in a fumble and you gain control with both arms of the overhook arm. What you're gonna do in this case, in a very quick and unpredictable manner, is to get the arm to the other side of your head and rise it up immediately to lock it in. If I do it real speed, looks a little bit something like this. Like that. And immediately, once I'm here, I'm gonna bend my legs and bridge into her, put pressure, and then just turn to rise up into her guard. This is a lot better than being on the inside of back control. Next escape, we call the slide out escape. In this case, my objective will be to get my back to the mat. To do this, I need to get rid of the bottom hook especially. So, I'm gonna start by falling to the underhook side, locking her bottom arm over here, limiting her opportunities to do the double-handed rear naked choke. I can also do this escape from the other side, but it's preferable if you have the choice to go on the underhook side. From there, to get rid of that bottom hook, I'm gonna walk my hips to the side and turn them towards the ceiling. That might take a couple tries for me to get rid of the hook. As a final adjustment, what I might need to do is kick my knee up towards the ceiling and help myself with my hand if I need to get the hook out of there and my foot back to the mat. From there, I'm gonna slide off of her leg. I'm sitting on her leg right now. This is preventing her from mounting me. So as soon as I free the bottom leg, I know she's gonna try to come up in the mount. So I need to address that. Block it here with my hand, with my leg, or even with my other leg. So I slide out, and then I keep on blocking here, or block like this with the other leg. And here, best case scenario is I'm gonna be able to go up into side control. But most likely what's gonna happen is just she's gonna rise up on top of me, and then we're gonna wind up either in the guard or half guard. For what to do in the guard position, check out the guard video in the cards above. Now here's a cool variant on the slide out escape, which is a little bit more advanced, but gives you more offensive opportunities. So instead of addressing the bottom hook first, I'm gonna start by getting out of the top hook. Here's how it goes. Same beginning, fall to the underhook side, and then I'm gonna try to get rid of that top hook first. So what I can do for that is I'm gonna kick my leg forward, then either use my elbow or even my hand to get it free, and then slide it right back in, and then lock the gate with my elbow on top of my knee. Then she can't get her hook back in, and I need to keep protecting that side so she can't get it in. What's interesting here is that frees up my top leg to get rid of her bottom hook. So I can hook it underneath the foot here and bring it down like this, blocking it, get my hips up, and slide my knee on the inside over here. This gives me a little more travel distance to get perpendicular to her, like so, all the way here. And then, immediately what I want to do, keep on blocking over here so she doesn't rise up. And I'm going to put all my weight on my shoulder over here to crush her and preventing her from getting up. So I put my foot to the mat, bridge up, and immediately elbow down over here. If I don't lower my elbow, she's going to slide her leg underneath, pull me in, and reestablish her back control position. So as soon as I bridge up, elbow down, so she can't get the leg in, here I'm going to grab her leg, reach across and grab her opposite leg like so, keeping all the weight on my shoulder, so I'm really pinning her down to the ground, and from here it's an easy transition to side control. Alright, so those are the fundamentals of the back control position and the rear naked choke. How to establish the position: hooks in, feet uncrossed, seatbelt lock, head down, nice and tight. 3 ways to finish the choke: double-handed, gable grip, or single-handed. How to get out of the choke: peel the top hand, peel the other hand by the thumb. How to prevent the choke: shoulders up, chin down, 2-on-1 on the overhook if you're in the seatbelt, or hands protecting the neck if it's open. And how to get out of the position, either using the arm switch escape or the slide out escape, either addressing the bottom or top hook first, ideally to get the side control, worst case to the guard, and preventing the mount at all costs. Alright, so good job on watching this video till the end. Now, you know what you gotta do is watch it again. So, click like, subscribe to the channel, add it to your bookmarks, add it to a playlist, save the link somewhere, do what you gotta do to be able to come back to this video regularly, and when you do so, take notes. Same as you did in school. Now you're in martial arts school, and this subject matter is important because it could save your life. So, review the material regularly, practice this with a partner, practice it on your own, visualize those techniques, and watch the video regularly. That'll help you integrate the techniques and eventually be able to apply them in a real life situation. So, leave us a comment below if you have any questions or anything to say about this video. It'll be my pleasure to answer. Click like if you enjoyed, and once again, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel right now to stay tuned for some more awesome martial arts video tutorials for techniques in all ranges of fighting. We hope that you've really enjoyed watching this video as much as we've enjoyed making it for you. And until next time, I'm Patrick Fulop. This is Effective Martial Arts. Remember, practice well, safety first, and use these techniques only for self-defense.